This is called My Personal Vietnam. And so I really didn't know a lot about Ann Coulter going into this, mostly because I tried to avoid knowing anything about her. I knew that a lot of people I respected they really hated her, and I felt like that was just enough for me to know to steer clear. Also, I'm kind of a Pollyanna, so I like to pretend that pure evil doesn't exist. And in order to maintain that belief, I have to avoid certain things. So, like criminal minds, Trump's entire campaign, I have to steer clear of them. But thanks to this show, I had to do research. So I decided to do something very scary and read one of Ann Coulter's books. Yeah, yes. Whoa. And full Daniel Day-Lewis, like just immersed myself. Scariest sounding book, and just like, one of the words of AC, also I gave her a nickname, it's AC. But I refused to pay for her book or let anybody see me read it. So I borrowed an ebook from the library, it's on here. And I chose Adios America, the left's plan to turn our country into a third world hellhole, which is ridiculously terrifying. Because I'm part of the left, and I didn't even know we had that plan. So I settled in on my couch with a blanket, a beer, a cat on my lap for comfort, and I began the first chapter of Adios America, and already I was frightened. Can everybody tell what this book is about by the title? I'm going to give you a quote that just illustrates her basic thesis. Quote, "Despite a hegemonic propaganda campaign about all cultures being equal, they aren't. Americans are utterly unprepared for the cultures being imposed on them, and the media cover-up can't hide the truth forever. People notice when their little girls are raped and killed by Mexicans, their mom neighbors are pimping out little girls and clubbing German Shepherd puppies to death, and their Chinese acquaintances are murdering their wives out of humiliation. Everybody who is browner than me is a criminal. I have hate spewing from all of my orifices. Won't somebody exorcise this demon from my soul?" That's right, this is a book about how Americans, who she generally defines as people descended from British Protestants, are being overrun by immigrants from inferior, violent cultures. Reading this book really hits home how naive I can be. I thought that extreme racists tried to hide that fact, or maybe they didn't know, or that they just gathered privately in barns, wearing white robes and reassuring each other of their supremacy. I didn't realize they wrote books about this. Very nice. And I also feel at this time I should mention that my mother immigrated here from Taiwan, and my father was born in the U.S. He was descended from European immigrants, and in junior high, he and his family moved to the town next to the town where Ann Coulter grew up in Connecticut. My dad is nothing like AC, but he does qualify as a true American by her standards. So I'm literally half American, half dirty immigrant. And then I realized that the biggest danger for me is in reading this book. What if she appeals to the true American side of me and actually convinces me of what she's saying? I finished this book, which is the first sign I've been brainwashed. And then I find that I've turned against the immigrant side of myself. Or what if I get so disgusted with the book that I turn against the true American side of myself? And for the first time, I sympathize with Donald Trump. Just like he said in an interview with Howard Stern that his journey of trying to avoid STDs while sleeping around was his personal Vietnam. Getting through this book is my personal Vietnam. While getting through it with my tyranny tactics. Okay, so the day of the Chicago Marathon, I spent the morning watching thousands of people around the world come together to compete and cheer on our fellow humans. And then I started reading Adios America. She starts laying out her plan to save the country. Step 1, secure the border. This is why she supports Trump. She loves the wall. She does give credit to my ancestors, pointing out that a successful example is the Great Wall of China. If you want to convince us to keep immigrants out, don't tell us about their amazing inventions. And I hate to admit that sometimes she's actually funny. Quote, "Republican elites are convinced Cuban Marco Rubio will be catnip to Hispanic voters. Yes, remember how Manhattan women flocked to Sarah Palin just because she was a woman?" End quote. She was right about that Marco Rubio thing. And also, I'm surprised her readers can register sarcasm. My mom has encountered many of Adios America's target audience. When she was in her 20s, she left Taiwan to come to grad school in Texas. in the 1970s, when I'm sure they were nowhere near as progressive as they are now. Later we moved to northern New Jersey, which has quite a few Asian people. There's a whole spectrum of racism. My mom described times when people told her, go back to your country, or just refused to acknowledge her existence. Or times where she was pulled over by cops for no reason. And she stayed silent when those things happened because the person was larger or more powerful, and she was afraid. On the other end of the spectrum, there's this model minority stereotype that Asian Americans are supposedly all hard workers and they all become doctors and lawyers. And to her credit, Coulter does not believe that model minority. She believes that Asian people will work just as hard as the other immigrants to make America into a third world hellhole. I will admit I could never fully understand my mom's experience. I've always looked just white enough to take advantage of white privilege, which I did, as much as I could. And because I didn't have the same experiences as she did, I did what you should never do. I invalidated her racist claims. Like, no, that waiter didn't ignore you the whole night because you're Asian, and maybe because you didn't smile at him enough. Or maybe he did look at you, but you didn't notice because you were already expecting him to be against you. I just didn't want it to be true, so I looked for reasons it might be my mom's fault. And this makes me sound like a horrible person. To be fair, I was a teenager at the time, so I probably was a horrible person. By this time, I'm fully into the part of Adios America where AC tries to convince you that certain groups of immigrants are inclined toward laziness and crime. She lists many terrible crimes committed by immigrants. I feel myself starting to actually be scared of immigrants, so scared of half of myself. But I can see she's using some cognitive tricks. She's filtering, so she only shows you the negative. Overgeneralizing, so if these things are true, these whole cultures must be bad. And she creates this frightening vision of where America's headed. And I can see why people say things to immigrants like, go back to your country. They're afraid. And she's profiting off their fear and fanning the flames. So some good has come out of reading the book. It opened a conversation with me and my family, and I have a better understanding of my parents' experiences. My dad told me over the years he's expanded his understanding of what my mom experienced as an immigrant. Now when they finish a meal at a restaurant, he asks my mom whether the waiter paid attention or ignored her, and then they decide on the tip. And my mom is also now more likely to stand up for herself. So she was in a class recently, a clogging class, which is the most dangerous of all settings. She was helping to translate for this fellow student when a woman yelled at them, "You're in America, speak English." My mother turned to her and said, "Yes, we should speak English in America, but sometimes it's easier to understand in a native language." And the woman quickly shut up. By Coulter, I'm not sure she's capable of positive change. If Adios America is any indication, she lacks basic humanity. She says, quote, "America should be choosing immigrants like the New England Patriots choose players," end quote. Life shouldn't be about optimizing the outcome, and I shouldn't have to explain that. I mean, how would you explain the concepts of human decency and respect and equality to somebody who does not seem to understand anything besides hatred and fear? In the end,